Thank you so much, Jennifer. And I'm so glad everyone's joined us today. We're just going to take a short period to give you a little bit of an overview of what we've been working on recently. And when I say we, I should introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm Nancy Larson. I'm the director with the Pollution Prevention Institute. We are an agency out of the College of Engineering at Kansas State University. And so our group has we have the Kansas SBEAP program we've had since about 98. And then we also do pollution prevention for industry in Kansas. And we've been around about 31 years. I have been here going on 22 years. So I'm really excited to talk to you about this project. I have to tell you that my right-hand person, who many of you are getting to know, is Allison Crowther. And so Allison's working behind the scenes. She rarely puts her camera on, but she has been working with me as a second on this project for a couple of years now. She was an intern with us in 2018. So Allison is a wealth of information, very, very helpful, and I really appreciate her. So we are going into the second, we're finishing up the first year of our second contract with under EPA and each of those contracts were 5-year grants. So just many of you recall the history, but for those of you who are new, this website used to be hosted by a contractor who was awesome. And then it went dark for a few years, probably about 2017, 2018, until we were awarded the grant to get the new website going. And so that would have been we launched the new website in November of 2020. And then, November of 2015. So I have my years a little bit forwarded, fast forward, I have to back up a little bit. So I will tell you that before we launched the website in 2015, November of 2015, it went dark for a couple of years, so we had no presence on the web. And the URL was actually picked up by a UK company. And so people who had the old URL went to a very different website. And so we had proposed this new URL. Many of our programs are SB programs. We're that technical assistance arm, right, for the state. And so we had proposed nationalsbeap.org. That is our URL. So we launched this brand new updated website right at the end of April. Right before we opened registration for annual training. So my goal today is just to walk you through this a little bit and to ask some poll questions of you. This is an opportunity for us to hear from you and get some information from you as far as how do you use the website? Are you even using it? How could we improve the website? We also, a big part of our job under this grant is communication. So we help with annual training. We help with the listservs. We help with the various subcommittees, because we want to make sure that if you're discussing something in your subcommittee that is important for our full audience to know about, we want to make sure that we get it hosted on our webpage and developed and put into the right spot if it's a priority. With that said, we do under this website work under a quality assurance project plan. And under that, we have certain priorities that we want to meet with regard to what we post on the website. And that is always a challenge. For any of you who have worked on websites, it's always a challenge because you want to put up a lot of information. Then all of a sudden you find out it's difficult to keep things up to date. That information may not have been as relevant as you thought. And so we are sometimes a little bit picky about what we're allowed to put up, and we base that on our quality assurance project plan. So besides Allison and I, we also have a graphic artist, Abby Kraus. Wow, she's new to our staff in the last 2 years, just part-time, but she added a lot to this new design, and we just really appreciate and value her. In addition, we've got our website subcommittee. They guided us every step of the way. Our website subcommittee does not meet that often, but they step up to the plate when we need them. And we met some 6 times this past fall when we were really clipping along and developing it this fall and this winter, and then when we went to launch. And so I just want to shout out to them. They did a great job. They took time to look at things and give us their input, and we really value and appreciate that. So with that, like I said, I'll just take a few minutes to go through the website. We're going to ask some questions, poll questions, and then we should have at least 10 minutes for questions and discussion if we want to. So I do appreciate you being here, and I saw some names that I haven't seen for a while. I just want to shout out to some of you states, like maybe Virginia and some other ones who I haven't seen for a long time. So I appreciate you joining us today. This is great. So same URL for the homepage, obviously. Same URL for some of our top pages, but I will tell you some of our URLs did not transfer over directly from the old site, and that was intentional because we really wanted to clean up our URLs as part of this too. And so please, if you have problems finding something, if you find a broken link, we really would appreciate you going up here to contact us, and you can call us through the hotline. You can email us. Most of you probably have me in your Outlook, and we would just really appreciate knowing about any broken links or problems that you have. Okay, so the home page, we changed our top horizontal menu really just slightly. So we've got small business, state contacts. We did change some of the drop downs. That's probably what we changed more of. NSBEAP resources. And we really did make a lot of changes to environmental compliance committees. And then I need to pull a different window out of the way there. Okay, and then news and events. So our homepage does look quite different, and I'll just ask my colleague Allison if I skip over anything, if I don't explain it very well. Allison or anyone else on the website subcommittee, please feel free to kind of interrupt and clarify. Or if something isn't showing on the screen, we'd like to know sooner than later, definitely. So appreciate that. So as you scroll down this screen, you will see a little bit about us, the Section 507, the Clean Air Act amendments. And then we wanted to do these quick links, which I think were a great addition. Where do, if I'm a small business, where do I go? Oh, looks like a couple of our icons are not working this morning. Wouldn't you know that? The morning I'm going to demonstrate, something's not working. That's all right. We'll get on that. That has never happened before. Then air quality, water quality, waste management, sustainability case studies, because we have about 160 of them. And then foreign language, that is one of the pages that isn't quite developed yet, but our goal is to start working on that by about August 1. So let me just walk you through a little bit of some of our changes. And I do want to tell you, I'm going to go very quickly here because I am planning to do kind of a full tour where we'll invite Maine, the trade associations, as well as the CAPs to a full tour on July 20th. That will be 11 a.m. Central Time. And I'm just waiting on confirmation with another date before I actually send out an invite. But that will be a tour where we literally go through quite a bit more, not quite so fast. We'll talk about some other things. It's very, very good for newcomers to come to that tour, but everyone is fairly new to this website. It's just been up about 6 weeks. So small business, some of the things that we've changed here, this page didn't have that much content, and this would be the other page where we are working on developing more content. But this is where we move some of the trade associations, the industry sectors, and we pulled off some specialty items, COVID, the sustainability case studies, industry sectors, and like I said, these trade associations. The way you're going to see all of the secondary pages set up is we've got internal links here, and then we have external links. So we look at, okay, what might small business also might want to see here. So on this page, you're going to see that we have the ASBO, we have the OSHA, SBA, SBDCs all listed here. The state contact page has changed just a little bit. I will tell you, in some views, we have some issues. Every once in a while, the state outlines might look a little bigger or move around. Now, this morning, the view on here is just fine, but yesterday, or rather Monday, I had a little problem with it. And so we're still working on figuring that out. And I think, Renee, you had problems with that one time too. And so this is where I sent an email yesterday, and I asked all of you, I'm just going to admit someone here. There we go. I asked all of you to go to your state and check to see if this information is correct. If it is not correct, I've asked you to email me, and I've asked you just to confirm either way whether it's correct or not. You will notice that we have a little different format on this, and we used to have up these pop-up boxes here, but where you clicked on the state and it just popped up a box. But now we've got this scrolling list, and the reason is that is an Americans Disability Act requirement for these lists to show up a little differently for folks who may be visually impaired. So then also the drop down here, you're going to see the internal links here. This is another thing I would love for you guys to do. And if you've got a second screen and you want to do it while we're here, that would be just fine. But this is the compliance advisory panel. And wouldn't you know, I'm finding a little problem with that. I should be able to have my map right here. So I'm finding a few little issues with our website this morning. And I know, Allison, you'll make a couple notes on this. So we normally will have the map right here. It was here before. So they might be doing some work on it, but there's a map here, and you click on, you find your compliance advisory panel. This page talks about EPA contacts, obviously, and then we've got a little bit more information about what NSBEAPs are. So let's see what other surprises I might find this morning. So under our NSBEAP resources, and again, this is a work in progress. There's no doubt. We literally work on this website weekly, if not daily, making changes to the website, updating things, and adding new things, or the listservs, right? So on here, this is our NSBEAP resources, and we tried this page before, was super clunky. it just got so heavy. This is one of those pages where we really needed to clean it up. But there's some great resources here, and I'll talk more about this on the tour. But you will see our YouTube site, which has got quite a few videos on it. Let's say you've got a new newsletter. So I mentioned to John yesterday in Montana, hey, if you need some content for your newsletter, you can click on this and you will see that we have taken all the past NSBEAPs and we have put them into a format where you can literally copy and paste. You could take those out and then just edit those to use for your own use. We've got a searchable database for a searchable document for the common technical questions and answers that have come in. So how many people are working on dental amalgam, and then the folks who responded. We've added those and put those all together for you so you could search for them. And it is in a very easy searchable format. Some of the other guidances, Paula mentioned the sustainability guidance. We've got, what are the regional small business liaison roles? And we've got some funding sources listed here and various other guides that you can see. We did do a metrics training recently. And it just looks like some of our images this morning are not showing up. Okay, so Allison, I don't know if you're seeing any of that or if you can check any of that, but maybe it's just me.
I am taking notes, and the first two things I'm seeing on mine, I will say that the metrics page is actually showing up correctly on my computer.
Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to pull something over because it could be my monitor. I had this problem on my monitor, but it's not showing up when I share it, right?
Correct. The videos were not showing up.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to pull it over to my laptop and hoping that it is just my monitor. That's interesting because that's where I had a problem with the states, which this morning I did not. So let's look at the metrics again. Let's see if it shows up on the monitor now. Thanks, folks, for your patience. So you can see, not showing up for me. Okay, well, we'll move. I'm glad it's showing up for you. I'm not sure why I'm having that issue. I'm not logged in as an editor. So I'm just going to refresh in case that has something to do with that. Okay.
It might be a bandwidth because it looked like they were slowly loading in.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel much better thinking, oh goodness, how did we have all these problems? So hopefully I might kill my video for a second just because of bandwidth. I had bandwidth issues yesterday and got kicked off several times at my office, and I reported it to our IT. But I know that Cox Communications is doing updates in the area. So sometimes we have that, just like AT&T did for Tony yesterday, right? Only they didn't cut our total service. Okay, so looking at environmental compliance, this is where we did make quite a few changes. And let me just do a time check. I have until, okay, good, we're good on time. So it's 12:22. I just want to make sure I'm real conscious of time. And we start a little early, so that's great, bonus. So this is where we did make changes. You'll remember that we were very, very air focused before, and we still are. Our primary resources are air quality focused, but we had been developing waste management. We had been developing water quality resources. So we wanted to provide those too. All righty. So as you move along here, we made several changes, and we put in our quick links here to our kind of most popular industry sectors that our NSBEAPs serve or who we think might be coming to our website. So our primary goal, right, is to serve our small business environmental assistance programs. But we also want to serve our small businesses. And that is an area that we haven't necessarily been really strong in, but it has not necessarily been our primary focus either. So we're looking for ways in subsequent years to do more work with SBA and get linked in more with them. But our goal this year was really to update the website. So one of the things that we did here, we went air quality. We made this on a separate page. And we've got some of the popular links here. And then many of you referenced this yesterday or referenced a need for this. So Jennifer in Nevada, Clark County, right? She said one of the things she was looking for were some PTE tools. And she found a broken link on here. That definitely, there's a lot of links. And we went through everything in January and fixed all broken links. And we did that so that when we pulled everything over to the new site, we knew that it had at least been checked within, 3 to 4 months. But when you come across that, please email us and let us know. So depending on what all the state had for resources, we either just linked to the state, or like Colorado, they had really specific calculators here. So we were able to kind of pull all of those out, versus Connecticut had a page where then they linked to separate things that maybe didn't quite fit the PTE calculator tool that we were looking for, but we did not want to not include them in case you want to take a look. So that's kind of how this is set up. All right. So anything else, Allison, you want to say about this page, because you did the heavy lifting on this one?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay, great. So if your state isn't listed here, or if you've got a new tool you want to let us know about, share it out to Maine. We'll pick up on that and we'll put it in our to-do file and work on that. We also wanted to make sure that we were including a page on waste management. So hazardous and solid waste, and as you know, EPA came out with some guidance. It's in multiple languages. It's kind of a handbook for small businesses on hazardous waste. From there, we have a water quality page that's got some templates on it and some examples on it for NPDES guides. I know in our state, we work with NPDES permits and helping our small businesses. And in fact, I'll tell you that just probably like you guys, most of our manufacturing that we work with do need to file a notice of intent for discharge of stormwater, right? And they need that general permit. And I would tell you that probably 60 to 80% do not have it or do not know whether they have it when we ask them about that. So we may go in for air, but we do ask them, we're multimedia, we ask them about waste and water and help them accordingly, just like many of you. So you can featured sectors, you can get to it multiple different ways, but if you want to just come right over here to auto body, you can do that. Tony talked about the auto body page yesterday. He's worked on this quite a bit. Thank you so much. And then here's some of those vendor resources that list the paints that are 6H compliant, if you will. Of course, dry cleaners, and there's been a fair amount going on with dry cleaners that they're looking, they did a risk assessment under TSCA for PERC. And they found out, I think I put it on this page. Yes, they found out that, some 60 uses out of 64 were created an unreasonable risk to workers, and PERC dry cleaners was one of them. So they have put together a small business panel. We hosted a quick TCE roundtable in our state just to make sure that our PERC dry cleaners knew what was going on. So we've got some alternatives listed here. And just like you in our state, probably 2/3 of our dry cleaners use the alternatives. Okay, so this, some other things there are foreign language publications are under construction right now, but I appreciate anybody who wants to send something to me to make sure that I've got it. I do have several things. We just haven't figured out quite how to organize it yet. These are the compliance calendars. I put a call out for these about December, January, usually when most people publish them. So we've got the dry cleaner ones there, but we've got gas dispensing. Florida is just a rock star. They do printers and electroplaters. In Kansas and in Nevada, we do hazardous waste ones. We also do storage tank. This is John again yesterday mentioned this. Minnesota does under above ground storage tanks and some aggregate facilities as well as hot mix. So really appreciate folks responding when we send out a call for these. The next section is committees. We reorganize this a little bit too. So you can see the drop down there. So we've got NSC, education. We put planning here where we did not have the planning subcommittee before. And we did add them here under committees. I won't necessarily go through those. You're pretty familiar with them. I will say that all of our committees are always looking for new blood, extra people. It's not like we have a limit on how many people can serve on a committee. Some of these committees, like the website committee, we may only meet once or twice a year once this website's up and going. Other committees meet regularly on a monthly basis, others every other month. Even if you're on a committee and you can only make it half the time, we'd still love to have you. We put you on a distribution list so you get updated on anything that might be going on. And then you can indicate that, accept or reject, letting the host know that, hey, I am going to be at this meeting or I'm not going to be. Okay, so going over here to news and events. This has been another big change. And so where this was on the homepage, it used to be in that right-hand third of the homepage, we had that yellow scrolling box, which some people really liked and other people thought was kind of obnoxious. I didn't mind it, but we went ahead and put news and events all together. This is where now you're seeing annual training. Where we used to have annual training as one of the horizontal menu items, we put it under news and events. And then we can post these recent announcements here. You can see oil and gas industry, PCE final risk assessment. And then this is where our Twitter's showing up. So yesterday, Jennifer Dixon emailed me from Michigan and said, hey, could you retweet this for us? And so we did, and that's the tweet that's showing there. But if you scroll down, you see our many other tweets. And a shout out to the promotions subcommittee who has been trying to help us get tweets, draft tweets. And the goal for draft tweets, I'll just put in a little plug. If you want to send a tweet, happy to tweet out your events, that kind of thing. We would like an image with them. Of course, you have to think about copyright, no copyrighted images, right? And then it's always great, though, if we can create tweets about our website content that draws people back to our website. That would be the primary intent of the National SBEAP Twitter account. So just a little plug in there. We've got some archive things where we're going to be putting some articles that maybe were professionally published. We've got a calendar. This is your annual training. I just will say that these are going to be your past trainings. And we do date those back as far as we can. We have agendas for to 2012. And then your awards. So this is where we will be updating this page with the new award winners and all the photos. But if you want to know about past award winners, you can find them here, or you can find them on the promotions page. All right. So, so that's where we're at. I would like to take a second to give you a poll, please. Let's see. So website number 1, this is our first poll. And please just be honest about any of these. This is your opportunity to give feedback. So it asks, is this your first time that you've seen the new National NSBEAP site? All right, we'll just give you about a second or 2 more. We've got 80% of the attendees voting, and I appreciate that. Okay, last call for any votes. Is this your first time seeing the website? Yes or no? Okay, ending the polling, and I'm just going to launch and share those results. You should be seeing the results. Somebody let me know if you are not. So it looks like 27% of the folks here today are seeing it for the first time. So welcome. I hope you see that it's useful for you, or you can use it in some way. If you have suggestions, we love to hear those. And then, but the majority of people, 73%, have seen it before. All right. Well, a couple more things to talk to you about. One is, oh, I thought you might be interested. Last year, we gave you lots of stats and numbers, and we did not pull that together this year. But I thought you might be interested to know a little bit about the content of the page. So we've got about 418 documents either linked or posted to this website. And we've
Nancy,
got, yes.
10-minute warning till the end.
Perfect. Thank
Thanks.
you. Perfect. Okay. And then I wanted to share with you that we've got about 60, just over 60 videos were on the site as of the last quarter, and some 70 different presentations. And many of those are from the technical subcommittee. Some of our top pages are states, annual training, environmental compliance, business resources. So when it comes to some of the top sector pages, it is auto body. And then otherwise, the NSBEAP resources page is very popular. So let me share another poll. So how many folks, I want to know, many, or not how many folks, but many people are part of our listservs. We actually have 8 different listservs. We've got main listserv, which anyone who is on our state contact list or who wants to be, we put on the main listserv, assuming it's appropriate, their role is appropriate. They're either a regulator, an NSBEAP, an SBO, or related. And then we have a planning subcommittee. Those are the folks who plan this conference. We have the NSC, National Steering Committee. That one is closed to just the reps and alts and the chairs of various committees. Promotion, technical, website I've already mentioned. And we have committees for, we have listservs for the CAPS and the trade associations. Everyone can self-unsubscribe from a listserv. If you get an email from the listserv, you don't want to be on it, you just scroll to the bottom and you self-unsubscribe. To subscribe to a listserv, you have to email us and let us know, and we add you, because these are not open to the public to join. That was a decision we made, 6 or 7 years ago. All right, so one of our big challenges, and I'm going to launch a poll. I want to know if you find the listservs helpful. And my apology, there's a tiny little typo there. Listservs is actually one word. We want to know if you find them helpful. You can ask your questions on them. People are great about responding. I was saying yesterday how Mark Stoddard does provide very thoughtful and thorough resources. Those are so valuable to people. Okay, there's a few of you who do not get the listserv messages. And if you should be on them, if you're one of the people I mentioned before, I would like to know that. So please let me know. But I'm going to end.
Nancy, you have a question about the list. Somebody would like a list in the chat of the listservs when we get a chance.
Okay,
Thanks.
sure, you bet. I'll answer that after I'm done here. I'm going to end the poll, and it looks like there's just about 9 people who don't get the listserv messages. Let me share those results. So thank you so much for answering that. So that leads into we discovered we have a problem. Some people's servers are being updated, and because we use the word national NSBEAP that comes from the K-State listserv, we have this kind of alias, if you will, that gets filtered out by some servers, and it's preventing some of our partners from getting our listserv messages. What we're going to do, the website subcommittee has decided this just has to be done, is we're actually upgrading our listservs. We're moving them to they will be changed from national NSBEAP to a direct KSU listserv. That will happen August 1. I will give people plenty of warning on that. We will post it on the website. We'll communicate it, but that will happen August 1. So that's coming right up. All right, so let's see, stop sharing those results. I want to do a couple more polls. Okay, so this poll is asking you about our navigation. Is it user friendly? And so obviously people who've been on the website can tell us whether we think this is more user friendly, less user friendly, and you would compare it to other websites, maybe your own website. So one of our things, you're obviously always under continual improvement process. Okay, I'm going to end the polling. Please get your results in. Okay, and the majority of people, 50% said it was ranked at a 4 for being user friendly. So thank you so much for doing the poll today. And I've got another one, and then we'll take. Okay, here's another poll for you. Just going to give you about 20 seconds. How much demand does your program have for foreign language documents? Use the scale from 1 to 5, 5 indicating you have a very high demand. Okay, you've got about 3 seconds. All right, ending the poll, sharing the results. So 47%, little or no demand for that. We will be putting those together, but this helps me with some priorities. Apologize, I talked about it and did not share it. Okay. Okay, and one last question for you. Do you plan to attend the 2022 in-person annual training? Right now it's planned in person. So just trying to get a feel for this. I'll just give you about 5 more seconds to vote. We've got 65% of the people. Okay. So I know Eric and Chris will be interested in seeing this. So we've got about 24 people saying absolutely, another 24 saying maybe. We are going to have scholarship support, so that will be really good. Okay, well, that wraps up what I had to share today. I probably will take most of the questions by via the chat. And so I am seeing some of them. And they may just be comments. Were there any specific questions I should answer, Allison or Jennifer?
I don't think there were any other questions except for one I think we missed early on was about maybe the website grant could pay for the Padlet stuff.
We can talk to the website subcommittee about how much we would use that at $10 a month. I think it's doable, but the question is, would it be used?
Right. And looks like there's a question about the conference. Will there be a hybrid option during the conference? Could someone attend virtually?
And Jennifer, feel free to augment this, but usually what we'll do is we just do like 1 to 2 sessions. We'll maybe hybrid, or we'll at least record and then post to the website, but not the whole thing at this point.
Yes, correct. We have in the past, we've streamed a couple sessions. It's just really difficult to do the entire event. So, so that hybrid option we probably would use, but just for a couple sessions per day.
And I see there was one question of who are those people on the main page? So these are photos that our graphic arts person, these are all of us. We're all happy. Our graphic arts person came up with those. We thought they were very appropriate. There's one that wasn't real great, which we got rid of, but she's done just a super job for us. So otherwise, I'm not seeing any specific questions. The listserv one I will answer in chat, so everyone has it.
Great. I think that wraps up our time.
Again, we will do a full tour. You will all be here about it, and that will be on July 20th at 11 a.m. Central.
Yes, definitely check that out. I think that'll be a good session for us all to know exactly what tools are on there. Thanks,
Thanks,
Nancy.
everyone. Sorry, I had a little bandwidth issue.
We appreciate you giving us the tour. And I discovered some things I wasn't even aware of. So fantastic. Thank you. What a great resource.